My morning started out early, really early, at 01:57 Mountain Standard Time. I'm on the road heading east from Alliance, Nebraska, returning to Grand Island. I caught a few trains en route, first pulling off in the community of Lakeside at milepost 342 on the BNSF Sand Hills subdivision. BNSF 5935 East with the loaded coal train had just departed Alliance, heading for their crew change point in Ravenna. Minutes later, at 02:30, I ran into BNSF 5994 West, passing through the town of Ashby, Nebraska, with a 1x1 engine setup. You'll see pushing on the rear a Norfolk Southern AC-44 C6M. I hadn't slept at all, so I pulled over in the town of Mullen to catch a nap. I then wake up at 0524 with BNSF 5267 East passing through town. They had empty Boeing Heinwide cars on the head end, more than likely to be reloaded somewhere along the way. Back in the Central Time Zone, I immediately grabbed the rest of my camera gear at my hotel in Grand Island and set back out with hopes of finding a train I saw just as I was fixing to end my trip. Too easy. 9 BNSF SD70MACs are dead in tow on this eastbound H train, but getting ahead was going to be the challenge. With US Highway 34 at the complete opposite end of Grand Island, I had to maneuver my way around, zigzagging across to keep eyes on the train. I eventually got ahead of them, but I kept going until I got to the east side of Aurora on the Ravenna subdivision. I set up my gear and waited for this monster consist to arrive. Battling the cold weather once more, I kept chasing them to C Road in Bradshaw to get them again, but they stopped as a westbound empty coal train was passing by on Main 1. BNSF SD70 ACE 8760 was leading this empty coal train back to the mines in Wyoming. BNSF 4267 now proceeds eastbound on Main 2 behind the westbound. Just for the heck of it, I went for them one more time just so I could get some new territory covered on the Ravenna line. so I went to P Road on the east side of York. With this chase now in the books, I went back west to Grand Island to get a little bit of rest after that long trip to Alliance. Afterwards, with this being my last full day in Nebraska before going home, I set back out onto the UP mainline in hopes to end this big trip with a hot shot. So I sit at Broadwell Avenue to see what runs. UP 6840 East was up first with road local LFG 57, running from North Platte to Grand Island. UP 8123 was moving westbound behind the local. This is train AGB-NP, a Gibson, Indiana to North Platte, Nebraska auto train from the Indiana Harbor Belt Railroad, the largest terminal railroad in the country. 5390 follows behind about 10 minutes later with train IG2LT. IG2LT comes out of Global 2 in Chicago, bound for Lathrop, California, and they were moving fast this evening. UP was moving quite a bit of traffic. About 15 minutes later came UP 8160 East with coal loads out of West Thundermine, Wyoming, bound for Commercial Avenue Yard in Chicago. I then surprisingly got called into work to cover a quick trip, and managed to snag this BNSF eastbound loaded coal train outside of Aurora. As soon as I got back to Grand Island, I went back to Broadwell Avenue, still with hopes of that hotshot to show up. At 2125, UP 6760 East passes through town with a North Platte to Bedford Park manifest freight train. This train would be bound for Clearing Yard, home of the Belt Railway of Chicago. Long last, UP 5540 East brings in the grand finale with hotshot intermodal train ZLT G2B running every bit of 70 miles an hour. I apologize in advance for the camera focusing issues. With this hotshot now caught, I can go back to Georgia a happy man. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a thumbs up by hitting that like button below. If you're new, I encourage you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and enable that notification bell to be notified on my next new video. Until next time, I say so long one final time from the great state of Nebraska along Union Pacific's Kearney subdivision.